So I have been waiting for these all year, probably since last year, probably since the leaks. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaker Circle. It's your boy Danny back with another Patta Air Max 1. I love this line. This is my favorite line of Air Maxes from last year, this year. I've always been a big Patta fan, and I was super hyped for these. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the review. So it was a crazy rainy day here in Florida today, and my box got damaged during shipping. So these were delivered today. I got these directly off of the Patta website, the Nike Patta drop that they usually do. Thankfully, the euro is so down. It's the equivalent of $1. So last year, this same time last year when I was buying Monarchs and I was buying the blue pair and all that, those ran me like $230 after the conversion. This ran me $190. I spent 190 euros and I paid $190. Last year was 190 euros and I paid $230, $240, whatever it was. It hurt my wallet, but this, man, I feel very lucky. So it's been raining really heavily here in Florida, and my box was a victim. So the box, I got it in today, drenched. It was drenched, but this is the only section that really got hit. Luckily, the shoes weren't affected at all, but the box has its water stain, which is a little unfortunate, especially if you're someone who loves their boxes. So on the top, you got each one teach one, which is a proverb they've been going with for this two-part release. I'm pretty sure they're not going to release another colorway anytime soon, or at least they're not going to relate it to the waves. We have Patta and Nike. We have whatever this is. Sound off in the comments down below. I should have looked into it, but I just haven't had a lot of time. And then Team Patta, what they have. If you want to compare it to like what they were using last year. Here we have the black box from last year, which is the familiar Love for All. This is what they're going with last year. This is what they're going with this year. So far, we've gotten two colorways. That Random Russet, that's actually pretty fire. I haven't gotten them in, I haven't purchased them yet. I'm gonna wait for a US release, if there's a US release, and I'll just hold off on those. I'm pretty sure you're getting them for retail or under. These were definitely a must. I couldn't pass on them. This is like my favorite shoe model, and I just needed these. I needed these. So before I ruin the box any further, let me just get out of here. Actually, the paper's so fire, bro. We have some artwork from right there. We have the artist's name right there, Van de Waal. He's done work for Patta before and other artists. I feel like I see it so often. It's so dope. Love that it's a part of this release as well. So this is a neutral pair. I thought it was gonna be all leather, but a couple days before the release, I saw people overseas getting them in hands, and people from the shops that got them on release day. These are just like the black pair, so if you didn't like the black pair, you might not like these. We have that vinyl coating on the very front of the toe box. It ends going on the upper, so everything here. So this is that vinyl coating. If I'm quiet, you can kind of hear it. Sounds like a planner. I said that last year with the black pair, but it's just what I think of, you know? You have this gray leather on the swoosh. You have cracked leather right here. And I gotta be honest, I thought when I read cracked leather, I mean, I already had the black pair, so I knew what I was gonna get into. But this is the first time that they actually include this little warning label. I feel like a lot of brands have been doing this lately. Please note, cracks seen on the upper material is characteristic, which might peel off after wearing. I've worn the black pair. There's been nothing. So if you're someone who's really into like Nike in general, like let's say you really like the A Ma Maniére Air Jordan line, you have the ones in the twos. This cracked leather is nothing like that. I'll show. Let me show you real quick. So these are the A Ma Manières. You can see that the cracked leather is more fraying. It feels more like a worn-in leather. While this leather is finished, it's really nice, but it doesn't have that appearance of wearing. Like you can run your finger through it and you won't feel any of the cracks or any of the fraying. It just feels like a smooth finish on the leather. As for these, like you'll feel every single crack and crevice. It feels really rough. So don't think that these are gonna be like that. I don't think these are gonna fray unless like heavily worn. So there is that. If you don't like this style, there is that like upside to them. Unfortunately, since these are like the black pair, I know one of the biggest issues with the black pair was that the tongue is super stiff because it's the material. It's gonna be the same case for these. I knew it bummed a lot of people out with the black pair. This is kind of gonna dig into you if you wear them too tight or too snug. The black pairs never really bothered me personally, because I like to wear my pairs with like a bit of room. But to me, the biggest difference between like this line and the lines we've been seeing is this is a little bit lighter. Now it's gonna come into theory time. I know it's kind of being marketed as a whole different way, a whole different release of sneakers, but in my opinion, it's probably not. I think these were meant to release with the original line. There's no confirmation on that, so it's just Danny theory for now. So yeah, the reason I think that is because we saw a perfect set of twos for each material base. So we saw 2 leather pairs, 2 nubuck pairs, and now 2 of these like vinyl leather pairs with the cracked leather. They're exactly the same layout, just different like colors. The only ones I have are all of them except the leather pairs. I'm trying to get those for steal. Sorry, your boy's trying to be cheap, but money does not grow on trees. So I'm gonna show you what I mean. Let's keep the right pair out. So these are all the current Patta waves that I have. So the original 2 that released were, I'm gonna call them the nubuck series. So the nubuck is on the top, the nubuck is here. Monarchs being the goat of all the colorways still, because of that godly shape right there, that perfect Air Max 1 shape, versus Aqua's having kind of a thicker toe box. This to me is that nubuck part of the pack. This is that vinyl leather and cracked leather combo pack, because they're pretty much identical. But one of the things that kind of sets this theory into the water is you see these 3, they have the same style mesh. So this is the same mesh too, but it's just darker. So if you look at these 2 right here, the mesh is so much darker, it's kind of crazy. The shape on these is great. I'll get a close up in a little bit. But mesh on these matches these. And I'm pretty sure if I grab both of the leather pairs that kind of come out, I'm not going to confirm it until I have it in hand. The maroon pair, I don't really know the official name for those. The ones that are like under retail right now, those might have a mesh closer to this. But then the pair that also released with these, from the pictures, it looks like they're this dark. So that's the biggest defining change that I've seen, nothing else too crazy. One thing I don't like about this vinyl material is, you see right here on the black pair, I get this nasty scuff. I can kind of like scratch it. This happened at a Costco to me. I just got clipped by the cart. So the material is very like fragile, and once it's like scuffed, it's nothing you can do to like fix it, because this is a finish on a piece of leather itself, or a piece of plastic. I haven't really gotten confirmation. That I feel like it's a leather with a certain treatment to give it that effect, that shine. This I thought was gonna be a little more durable, but I'm already seeing some marks right here, but it could just be glue marks, because I can feel them and I can kind of scratch them off. But I'm not gonna come at it with alcohol swabs, because I don't know what it would do to the finish realistically. But I don't know, I'm gonna wear these. This has been my favorite pair to wear, especially since it's so rainy down here in Florida. This is like my go-to. These are probably gonna be my next go-to, and if I do get the leather pairs, I'll probably wear those out. These have been my favorite of the pack so far, but I just haven't had a good chance to wear the Monarchs. My fiance has a pair of Monarchs that I got her off of sneakers. She rocks the hell out of them, bro. They look fantastic, and it makes me think what fit's gonna pull off on these, because boy, they look fantastic. I have worn these, bam, to K barbecue, which honestly that was kind of risky if I really think back to it. But I love these. This is like my favorite Air Max like line in the last 2 years when it comes to like a collaboration. I guess let's get into the shape of this new release. Let's get into some other things and straight to the on feet. So let me clear this up. The last 2 aspects that I really want to talk about are release details and shape. So straight into the shape. Look at how that toe box looks. It is crazy. It looks just like the black pair. I'm a really big fan of the black pair of Monarchs. I feel like those are the top of the tier when it comes to this collabs. This joins them. If Aquas had the same shape as Monarchs, they would probably be #1, but they just don't. So they lose points on that ranking system for me. This one just looks amazing. They do a great job at holding that shape. I still feel like it's a little rounder than we would have for Monarchs, but it's good enough. It's good enough on foot, it's good enough on toe. I absolutely love them. And I kind of like how this time they didn't give you the actual like bracelet that all the other 4 previous pairs did. They have this each one teach one Patta hang tag, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I prefer this because this is like a really nice detail to the shoe. The bracelets were like a nice accessory, but to me, it didn't have too much of relation to the shoe. Like I would never throw the bracelet on like my ankle, or I would never throw the bracelet around the actual thing. This feels so appropriate, especially since it's like the style of the old Nike Air tags, but it just says Patta and it says each one teach one. I mean, it does say Air Max right there, if I could show you, but it's still super dope. So technically, details for the American release still haven't been announced. I have been telling people like, yo, wait for a US release, wait for this, wait for that. But if I really think about it, the black pair never got a US release and never got a sneakers release. That's why if you go look at the prices, the black pair is usually the highest because it technically only released in Patta. It didn't release anywhere else because every single release has been Patta based or sneakers based. I think the Sneakers UK and like in the European nations, they did get a release for the black pair, but we just didn't down here. And that seems to be the case for these. Another wild fact that kind of contributes to my theory of these are supposed to be a part of them. The production date between these and the black pair are so close, it's crazy. So if we grab the production date for the black pair, right here, hopefully I can show you. It ended on 07/27/21. These started, here we go, 10/22/21. So it was a 3-month difference. Usually these production periods are 3 months, like a 3-month span, you know? And there was one release right between it. So I have to get my hands on the russet pair, or if you have them and you can tell me the production dates, I really appreciate that because conspiracies are pretty fun. I think this is where I'm gonna end it for the review. This is where I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna go through them on feet and give you that first look because there's no way I'm keeping these DS for years like I do other pairs. I say that as I still haven't technically worn Monarchs out. That's kind of contradicting, Dan. It is what it is. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Thank you for following. Thank you for like the support, everything. I know people really love these and I really love Air Maxes, so I don't mind doing these videos. Let's get straight into it.